Oh, it's Tuesday. Show Me the Money Club live Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific here on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Rumble, and we also have the audio podcast version available on all major podcasting platforms. Just search Show Me the Money Club and our lovely mugs will pop up. So what's going on, everybody? We hope you're having a great Tuesday. We hope everything is going well out there for you. Hopefully you had a great weekend. Sergio, how was your weekend?
Excellent, buddy. Excellent.
Awesome.
Yeah, I only drove 300 miles for soccer, but other than that, it was excellent.
Nice. Yeah, I was a little worrisome at the beginning of the Bills game, and then they took off and destroyed the Dolphins. So it was a good little thing there. So it was a nice 48-20 victory. Go Bills. Got to say that. So top of the AFC East again, even though that they're tied with the Dolphins, but they got the tiebreaker. So we're good there. But we're not here to talk about football. No. We're here to talk about some rideshare. We're talking about quite a few different things. So let's do the rundown, what we're going to be talking about, and then we'll kind of get into our show. So we have a Risher interview recap that Sergio wants to talk about, and we're going to discuss a couple of things there. We're going to be talking about InDrive. Everybody has been talking about that. Everybody wants to know, what's it like? What is everything? So we have our good friend Jeff to come on. He's going to be talking about InDrive. He's been doing InDrive for 6 weeks now. So we're going to have a real thorough recap and review of InDrive, letting you guys know exactly what's going on when it comes down to, are there lowballing passengers or lowballing drivers or anything like that? How's the pay? How's the rides coming in? Those types of things. We're going to let you know exactly what's going on. Jeff will be on in just a few moments to talk about that. Then we're going to be talking about, is Uber back to glitching in Las Vegas? Might be. And then the Lyft CEO says Surge is not going away after he said it is going away, and now it's not. So we're going to be talking about that, breaking it down. Uber's finally changed the commercial insurance line when it comes to the booking fee. So we're going to be talking about that. Lyft versus Uber on trip radar. Something interesting there. Uber adding 1,200 taxis to the platform in LA and Orange counties. So, all those taxi cab drivers at the beginning of 2012 who were pissed off at Uber lows coming in. Well, if you can't beat them, join them, I guess. So we're going to be talking about that. Then we're going to be talking about a really crazy, ridiculous deactivation story. Also going into some funnies and some issues along that. So we got a pretty packed show, so let's get right into it. First, we want to thank today's sponsor, Upside. Sergio, I don't know about you, but I can't believe how much it costs for gas now.
I believe it. Close to $7 in LA, buddy. But I never pay full price. I just use the free Upside app and get cash back every time I buy gas. In fact, I used it today. I bought gas and got my discount already. So
awesome. So you actually get paid real cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yep. The Upside app actually has changed quite a bit from what it was maybe a year ago. So much easier now. And I'll just go pump the gas, say claim, and I'm done. And then a couple of days later, cash shows up in my Upside account, which I can transfer to my regular checking account. So I like Upside, bro. I really do, especially when gas is $7 a gallon.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I can't blame you there. So make sure you download the free Upside app to earn real cash every time that you buy gas. Use the promo code RSG25 for an extra 25 cents off per gallon on your first fill up. That's code RSG25. Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. But not only do they also have gas cashback, but they also have rebates when it comes to local restaurants and also convenience stores. So when you're going to buy convenient items and also going to restaurants or trying different places, you can get cash back there. So make sure you check it out. If you don't have the Upside app, make sure you download it today and use code RSG25 so you can get that extra 25 cents per gallon. Save some money, especially if you're out there rideshare driving. Will Connor, thank you.
Thank you. Well, if you have any questions, shoot me an email. Anybody in the chat, including Will, obviously. Sergio at therideshareguy.com. Always welcome emails, always enter emails. So there we go.
Sarge, come on. My mind goes 3 times too fast than my mouth, so that's why sometimes it gets a little triple. But so last week we had a very interesting conversation with one David Risher, who, if you don't know, is the CEO of Lyft. If you haven't seen that interview, make sure you go back and check that out after today's episode. It was pretty good. And so let's do a little recap, Serge. What's going on?
Yeah. Well, so last week was the Super Bowl for Show Me the Money Club. And, chat was on fire. I think we had over 700 plus people watching it live. I did not pay attention to the chat last week while I was doing the interview. And obviously, as my own biggest critic, I watched the interview 3 times afterwards, once with the chat, and a couple times without the chat. From everything I saw, I think the conversation went very well for it to be the first time. As everybody's heard, he's going to be back in 6 months or less with an update. We talked about fundamental issues, obviously, for whoever hasn't watched it yet. 4 fundamental issues, obviously: pay, driver safety, unjust deactivations, and dreaded Lyft support, which is set up for denial. So he listened. I thought he listened. And I think we're going to work together the next 6 months to do really, really good things for the driver community. Now, Chris, I added another union to our list of unions. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we have the CPU, which everybody knows I'm the president of, which is Cherry Pickers United. Then we have AFU, who Jeff is about to come on. I think he's the president of AFU, which is called And Formica United. And now, after reading all the comments, which were 75 to 80% positive, but then there were some, people who were not happy with the interview, and they said I should have been harder on the guy or whatever. And so I created another union for those people, and that's going to be called CDU, Charlie David U. That's going to be called Complaining Drivers United. Okay. One thing that I actually want to hit on real quick is that in the chat, there were a lot of people who were trying to get a question in, which we had said we're not going to accept questions, but they were talking about this Lux issue, Lyft getting rid of Lux, right? It's a done deal. It was a done deal. If I knew about it and it was about to come, I would have asked the guy, obviously. But it's a done deal, and that proves one thing and one thing really clearly to all the drivers who are going to watch it now, are here, and later on. You have no control in the rideshare game. You just don't. The companies are going to do what they're going to do. You just have to zig and zag when they zig and zag. And obviously, it hurts a lot of drivers. Look, it's only 6% of the ride base for Lyft. For them, they may not be a big deal. But what if you just bought a car to do Lux only, and you're sitting with a note now, and you just got screwed, right? I feel for all those people. But I wasn't going to ask him something that was already done. It's signed, sealed, and delivered. There is no reason for me to spend 3 minutes talking to him about something that they had decided already. But going back to this, I think when these companies do things, they do things because it benefits them, not you guys. And you could go buy a new car today, and your car may just fall off the list tomorrow. So you have no control. The only control you guys have is turning the app on and turning the app off. Outside that, once you realize this, people, you're going to be such a happier driver, even with shitty pay probably, because you have relinquished control. You're not trying to control something that you're not in charge of. And, but overall, I thought it was a really good interview for a starter. We're going to welcome him back. And lastly, we are going to start talking to Uber about Dara. And hopefully, maybe before the year, Chris, we may get Mr. Dara Khosrowshahi on Show Me the Money as well. And that will be awesome. Uber, hello. You know who you are. But yeah, so I thought it went well. Thank you for all the support, and thank you for all the opinions, negative or positive. I will try to do better next time. I'm not going to call people this and that. Everybody has a valid opinion, and I accept it. But the overwhelming majority, we ran a poll. It was close to 80% of the people gave me A's and B's. So they must have thought I did something right. Again, thank you for the support. And that's it.
Well, it was a great interview. And like I said, being initial, I think it was a good one, hitting on the cores, and then, the next one, the ones after that, it's going to be a little bit more maybe targeted, a little bit more when it comes to results or changes or anything like that. So the initial conversation, I think it went really well. And we'll see what happens in 6 months when we have them back on. So
yeah, we're going to hold them to it. I
hope.
mean, these changes need to be made, and we're going to hold them to it. I am in contact with Lyft all the time. When I see things that needs their attention, I'm always sending it to them, the screenshots or whatever they're not, or emails that I receive from drivers from all over the country, because there are things to be fixed. There's no ifs and buts about it. And hopefully, they take our community seriously, and then they do it. And this is all for their benefit, by the way. Why have a pissed off driver in the car? You don't want that. So,
no, definitely not.
Yeah.
All right. Well, did you have any last comments on the interview? Just looking forward to the next one.
It's all good. I'm actually excited about this next segment. I really am. So we'll see.
Yeah, same here. That's why I'm trying to get him on. So we have Jeff. You might know him as Norma, who's in the chat. He is a Miami-based driver and drives for InDrive and has been driving for the last 6 weeks with them. So we asked for a report on InDrive to kind of let you guys know exactly what it's all about. And we've got plenty of people asking, when is it coming to your market? When is it coming to your market? We're going to actually get into that. So we'll let you know. But Jeff, thank you for coming on. Appreciate it.
You are welcome. Thanks for having me. And thank you for kicking the Dolphins' ass last week. It was much appreciated.
Oh, yeah.
Look at you.
Destroying them.
Look at you, all in InDrive gear right there. Mr. Ambassador of InDrive in Florida.
Just so you know, I have every Gig With It shirt that you sell and your hat as well.
I was like, nice. Look, I was kind of thinking that you truly, I mean, look, I trust everything you do, numbers wise, especially, right? And you signed on with InDrive pretty much right away, right? It's almost like within a week of them showing up.
Maybe a month. I actually saw it on a commercial on a YouTube video. And then, there's a lot of fly-by-night propositions that I've seen over my 8 years here, come and go companies. But when I Googled the company and realized they've been in business 10 years, and this is their foray into the United States, it got me a little bit more interested.
Yeah. So let's start there. Let's start with the sign-up process. How quick was it? Obviously, look, we had Adam Warner, who's the head of U.S. operations of InDrive, a few weeks ago. It's on our channel. You guys can go watch it. We put out some InDrive videos, very popular ones. But you tell us about your own personal experience, the first start with the sign-on process.
Well, it was just similar to Uber and Lyft. You put in all the documents they asked for, nothing different than Uber and Lyft. You watch some videos and then you wait for the background check. I think where I got held up for 3 weeks was they were inundated with driver applications, and now driving for them, I see why. So it took longer to do the background check, but you got to continue to follow up with support and nudge them a little bit, because I think that got me approved in 3 weeks. And they did apologize for the delay. And but it was that simple. And like Uber and Lyft, you have to learn the app by yourself. But the apps are in the same, like the passenger app and the driver app, you can toggle back and forth. So it's very easy to play around and learn both apps. So you can inform the customers.
So they don't have two separate apps like Uber and Lyft does, for one for passenger, one for driver? Or
they may, but the driver app is also, there's a little button at the bottom where you could say passenger mode. And I can go order a car for myself if I want.
Oh, okay. Okay. So,
I don't know if I'd be the driver if I was online, since I'm in the same place. But.
Probably not. But so you're on board now. How long have you been in their system?
It's about 6 weeks. I have 85 rides, and that's by choice.
How many rides?
85.
85. Okay, that's I don't know. It's like 6 a day or 5, 6 a day. 6 weeks. Yeah.
No, a little less.
Maybe less.
But I always have the app on, because you can view every offer that comes through without any penalty. So
you gathered us a whole bunch of talking points, bullet points, what you see, the pros and cons. Give it to our audience straight, because look, I think honestly, Jeff and Chris knows, they may have been the most popular videos we put out over the past month and a half or so, because everybody is so fed up with Uber and Lyft. They go like, if there's a competitor that's going to pay us decent, and they're just so sick of them that they just jump on this. So I trust that. Look at all these bullet points. So he's gonna talk pros and cons, and we shut up and listen to Jeff, and that's about it.
Well, I'm only going to cover the passenger app, briefly, because most of us really are not interested in that. But it's a simple to use app. There's two choices: a 4-passenger car and a 6-passenger car. There's no gimmicks. Priority: you want the car in 5 minutes, you want the car in 7 minutes, all at different price.
Okay.
So then you put in your pickup and your drop-off coordinates as a passenger, and a little box pops up with a suggested offer. And they told me, because I had heard it with my own ears, they don't use algorithms to get the price. They have some kind of pricing method, but it's not algorithmic.
Okay.
And then you don't have to use that offer. So the app will let the passenger, let's say the offer is $23.
Okay.
You can start at maybe 20. It won't let you go too low. A little warning will pop up to the passenger that says the minimum price for this ride is X. So there is no lowballing. And again, even at $20, InDrive takes 0% for the whole year. So you're getting every penny of that ride. So that's usually how it works. You enter your pickup and drop off location, you put in your offer, it goes out. They have a radius set up depending on how many drivers are in the area, and it can go out to 5 drivers. They can all accept the offer as is, or they can counteroffer. And then all of those acceptance and counteroffers appear on the driver's screen, the passenger screen, and they pick the driver. So in essence, it's trip radar, except it's controlled by the passenger. It's not controlled by the entity, if that makes sense. And believe me, it leads to a little frustration, because sometimes you really want a great trip and they choose somebody else, which also makes you have to have a rapport with the customers, because they can actually favorite you in their app. So you will get to see a lot of their offers. That's really how it works. As far as the passenger side, these are also differentiators. All 5 minutes of wait time at the pickup spot are free.
Okay.
After you wait 5 minutes, it's 28 cents a minute that goes directly to you, and it starts on the first second after 5 minutes, not a minute after 5 minutes, and it's not fractionated. It's 28 cents a minute.
So is there a cancellation fee, by the way?
Yes, $6.25 after 5 minutes.
Okay.
A lot better than the $2.
I have only canceled 2 rides because in my mind, you're making a fair wage. And there are other things in there. Like when you accept, well, I don't want to jump ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Multi-stop rides are not available on the app. Reservations are not available, and destination edits are not available. And I don't know if that's coming in the future, but that's fine by me.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you, if I'm making $20 for a 12 or 13 mile ride, if somebody wants to stop at a Walgreens, I'll be more than happy to pull in and wait for them for a couple of minutes.
Okay.
There's no ID required to join, which means minors can join. I know that because I had my 17-year-old do an experiment, and I ended up giving him a ride on his own app. And photos are optional, just like the other 2. Tipping is allowed. And like I said, favorite drivers can be accepted in the app.
Okay.
And there's 2 or 3 quick things to me that really make it easy to convert my Lyft passengers to InDrive. The wait time is one thing. There's no surge pricing because it's an offer and acceptance. InDrive only acts as the facilitator to join the driver and the rider, so to speak.
Okay.
And that's it. The ride apparently is insured for the same amount as Uber and Lyft. And, the tolls are also included. That's a big thing you have to understand. So if you accept an offer from a passenger, it tells you on the offer screen that there's a toll of X amount on this ride. If you accept the ride, there's no charge back to the customer. So if you accept the ride, you pay the toll.
Oh, okay. I get you. Okay. All
right. And the other thing is that, you did a segment on, about female passengers and female drivers.
Yeah.
Since the passenger picks the driver, you know, that's a good way. If a female accepts the offer and a female feels more comfortable, they can certainly select a driver. And again, it really makes you try to establish a rapport with the customers, because of my 500 plus conversions to InDrive over the last 6 weeks, remember, I live in the 5 mile radius on Lyft. So
Yeah.
I've actually driven converts multiple times because I'm always in the area and they see my face and they see my offer, and you know, it works out. Like,
Wait a minute. So do they like? I don't know, obviously the app at all. So I'm just for our crowd. Can the passenger pick a favorite in the app, and then
yes,
they always get matched with that driver?
I don't think they will get matched, but they will see that offer
Okay.
and they can
Okay.
accept the offer. At the end of the day, it's the passenger that makes the final decision on who they want to pick them up.
Okay.
Most importantly, tipping is allowed.
Okay.
And,
The other thing that kind of while you were talking about that is, you said you picked up the same passenger out of your 80 trips that you did a few times, right?
7. Guy
7.
named Kevin. I've driven him 7 times.
Okay. Like you do a whole bunch more Lyft trips, obviously, because you use your air filter and stay within 5, 8, 10 miles of your house.
Yes.
How many times has that happened with the Lyft platform to you? The same passenger that you ended up picking up the same passenger?
Probably I have more than 8,000 rides, maybe 10 or 11 times.
Yeah, figure that out, right? So this is kind of, you know, a driver passenger relationship is being established here, and then they know you, they're comfortable with you and your car and you're driving, and hey, I mean, I like that part.
But again, here's the beauty of InDrive. And I just think of this. You give somebody your phone number, even if you drove them 70 miles away, and say, hey, look, if you know you need a car next week, give me a 2 or 3 hour heads up. I'll come and pick you up. I'll be near your house, and then we'll do it through InDrive.
Yeah.
Use them as the facilitator. They cover the insurance on the ride.
Okay.
Which means I don't have to keep my liability policy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, this is, again, there's a lot you can do with this app because InDrive only wants their cut. The rest, you know, and by the way, I have heard that their target cut is 18 to 20%, probably starting in January, but through the rest of the year, it's free.
Okay.
But again, my mind is always spinning, and I'm really pumped up about this company because I think they could, if nothing else, they can make Uber and Lyft have to lower their prices to customers and treat their drivers better.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that for like a minute or so. You know, if you, I mean, you do a lot of Lyft trips. So I'm not going to talk about Uber, but Lyft, Uber, same shit. Compare like you know, the math of it or the economics of it of an equal or the same trip length and duration to InDrive, and what you're getting and what's happening to the passenger as far as them getting a little bit of a discount and you keeping the whole fare. So to me, if you're doing like a, I don't know, 2 mile pickup, 3 mile drop off on Uber or Lyft, they're going to pay you $5 ish, somewhere in that range, without surge, without anything else, right? And on InDrive, that the customer's probably going to pay. I mean, on Uber or Lyft, customers are probably going to pay $8 to $10 for that trip. So they can go down to maybe $7, $8, right? And then you'll keep the 7 and 8. You're making more; they're paying less. I don't see anything wrong with this picture. Am I wrong or
no?
Right?
There's nothing wrong with the picture, and the biggest thing I get is astonishment. And I'll just do a real quick story. The first week, I picked up a Lyft passenger for like a 20-mile ride. And I, you know, my car wasn't branded at the time. I think you have pictures of that, which you probably show later. And I picked this guy up, and he has 2,900 Lyft rides over 5 years. Now, just think if he uses Lyft and Uber.
Wow.
So I tell him about the app. He downloaded it in the back, and then I hear mother effer, and I'm like, "What, is everything all right?" He's like, "I would have saved $12 on this trip."
Oh shit.
12, and of course my mind is 12 times 2,900. I said, "You realize that's over $30,000 in the last 5 years that you would have saved if InDrive had been around."
Oh my god.
I don't think he'll be going back to one of the big two.
Yeah.
And again,
No,
it's that
probably
simple,
not.
right?
Yeah, that's
And
crazy.
so as far as economics, look, you know, and I'm not going to back off here. I live on Lyft because of the 5 mile radius. I still average 105 to 115 a mile. And that's how I base my business model. And but the only thing is that's only on short trips. You know, I've sent you some screenshots of some ridiculous offers for 100-mile trips. So I'm still partial to them, even though I leave my InDrive app on all the time because there's no acceptance rate quotas and you see every offer. But I've picked up people for as much as $2 a mile for a 6-mile trip. The lowest I've ever seen is like $1.05. So that's me.
Amateur.
$1.05 to $1.10. But every ride is $1 or more.
Okay.
And one of the things I do want to cover in the driver thing, but I'll hit it right now, is, one thing I get from my repeat customers is you won't believe how many counteroffers I get that are ridiculous. And look, we already know Uber and Lyft, how greedy they are, but there are a lot of greedy drivers out there. And that if you counteroffer somebody, you're not going to get a ride, because I think some of the drivers think that their offer is the only one that the passenger's seeing.
Yeah.
So there's going to be 3 drivers that accept the offer as is, and there's a couple of drivers who are going to send back a ridiculous counteroffer. So that's where I kid with you that the CPU might be going through union busting, because but again, you said it. I would make $3.50 on a 4-mile ride with Lyft. Yep. I'm making $7 or $8.
Yep.
So why would I need to counteroffer? I'm already making a 90% more than I would on Lyft.
All the people who counteroffer double, triple is because they want to go back to 2015. Those are those people. So it's just not going to happen.
They have to realize that if they counteroffer, bringing the price up to what Lyft and Uber are, why would people use InDrive? They're just going to do a Lyft.
I don't see it. So we have a whole bunch of screenshots that we're going to go through real quick with you. So Chris, somebody said, can we put the bullet points up on like some sort of link? I wonder if we can do it, or in fact, I have those, if anybody's
I think the easiest thing is just screenshot it.
Yeah, screenshot that. Or look, I have it. I don't mind it. Email me, Sergio@therideshareguy.com. Say, send me InDrive bullet points, something short. I'll attach it to your email and send it back to you guys. So, okay, so that's that one. So that's the bullet points. Okay, one thing that I need to talk about real quick here. I spoke to Adam Warner, in fact, today, and emailed him back and forth, actually. So there's one thing that everybody needs to understand. InDrive's app, although they do have period 1, period 2, period 3 commercial insurance, just like Uber and Lyft does. And we put those insurance companies' riders up. They are saying they have insurance. However, when I pushed on it, as we all know, in both apps, Lyft and Uber, there is a way bill, something called a way bill. So if you get into a crash or go into LA or airports, you get pulled over, you can present the way bill to the law enforcement, or obviously in the case of a crash, that's your insurance rider, insurance policy for that specific trip. InDrive does not have that in the app yet, passenger or the rider app. They are working 24/7 to get it included in the app, just like the other 2 companies are. So you guys know, if you don't see it, don't think you don't have insurance. You do have insurance. This is from the head of operations of InDrive. So, okay, so
real quick, like I'll go through the driver app. Oh, you want to do this? Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You're comfortable with this. I am just looking at them. So you explain these screenshots.
So, well, this screenshot, and again, that appears to be a passenger's app. So you can see 2 people counteroffered, one at 43 and one at 47. Right. And the other 2 people, accepted the person's offer. So if you think you're just going to reverse, you're going to highball somebody, they're seeing multiple offers. And again, it tells you the driver's rating. It shows you their picture. I actually like this because it encourages you to be friendly to your passengers. Because they'll remember you.
Well, so the other thing is, people remember this. Passenger cannot lowball you. So I know a lot of you are going to say, a lot of the CDU members do have a new union. You heard about the CDU, right?
Yes.
Complaining Drivers United. They're going to say, oh, they can lowball it down to nothing. Like, no, the app won't let you lowball as a passenger. So you guys know. So
By the way, they do have a minimum fare, and that's $5.
Oh,
Just
minimum
so
fare
you
is
know.
5. Okay, cool. All right.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So, and again, when you see the driver app, you see the pickup address, drop off address, time and distance to pick up and drop off, and you might see a passenger photo. You'll also see their how many rides they've had and what their star rating is.
Okay.
Now, when
Can you real
you
quick
get
answer
accepted,
that, Jeff? Can you answer that
yes,
real quick? It says Indigo says I still don't like the no ID thing. I'm not sure what they're
I
saying.
agree with you. No, they're talking about. I talked about minors can get on board.
Oh, minors.
Because
Okay, yeah, that's a big no. We need to talk to the company about that. That's a big.
Well, I talked to them. I met a couple of people. I did Sergio knows this. I did a ride along last week where they were getting interviewed for Miami Globe magazine, an article that's going to come out. It was about an hour or so interview. Somebody recorded it. There was a photographer.
Okay.
And I don't work for them. I'm a driver for them, but I'm very passionate about seeing them succeed. And I'm going to stop at nothing to help, because in the long term, I think it's better for every driver and every customer. So
I agree with you. Okay. So the next screenshot, there are like a whole bunch of screenshots, but we'll go through them. This is okay. So this one, let's spend a minute on this. Okay. This is a long trip, people. Okay. The trip is on the right, or let's see. No. So there's a long trip, as you guys can see. Jeff explained this. And then what do you think this trip would have been priced on the Uber or Lyft app? Just tell us a little bit about the one on the left, the screenshot.
Well, that's actually my ride.
Oh, that's your ride.
Yeah, I didn't get the ride. It's a little bit small on my end, but it looks like 124 miles for $150.
Yeah. So I'll read it for Jeff, and then the offer is $150. We obviously concealed the pickup drop-off address and passenger face or whatever. The pickup is literally 0.2 miles, 1 minute away, and the trip is going to last an hour and 55 for 124 miles. Okay, so it's a 2-hour trip, paying you $150 for 124 miles. So on UberX, and let's play the game. Chris, what do you think this would be priced in Florida on Lyft or Uber?
For the driver or for the passenger?
Well, for the driver.
For the driver, 124 mile trip, you're looking at probably $85.
I agree. How about you, Jeff?
If that much.
Okay, so here's the deal. So this probably would have been priced at $200 on the passenger app. So passenger is probably going to save about $40-50 on this trip. Uber would have paid, or Lyft would have paid the driver $85. Let's be optimistic, and the driver makes almost double. I don't see anything wrong with any of this. I'm really excited about this company. So we have no relationship with this company, okay? But this, to me, we know what's happening, Jeff and Chris, on long trips now, right? Huge haircuts on Lyft and Uber with upfront fares. This to me is gold compared to Uber and Lyft. So
I was actually pissed that they chose somebody else.
Well, yeah, you got to be quick on the trigger, buddy.
Yes, well, I am, because I don't counteroffer. But and here's the other thing. So this would take me out of their coverage area.
The passenger.
Yeah, this would take me out of their coverage area. So I would use Lyft destination filter or Uber destination filter to pick up rides coming back. But again, you should always be using the apps in conjunction to get the most bang for your buck.
Exactly, except that they're going to spread out, I'm sure, to other cities now.
Absolutely.
And you may even in a couple of months, you may have their return trip on InDrive as well. So I think this is a perfect filler. I don't even think it's a filler. I think it's a leader, for Uber and Lyft drivers. I mean, what's the point, right? Just another tool in your toolbox. I don't.
In my opinion, I think they're slow rolling on purpose because, that, like you said, they want to get all the kinks out and they want to do it right. But again, that was one of the only time I was really frustrated, because that was, that I would have gladly took that.
Okay.
I tried.
Yeah, I would have too. under upfront fares, I would have too. So next one. Next.
You got like half that though with Uber Lyft.
Yeah, I can't see that. I can't. It's too small on my.
It's $12 for a 5-minute, 1.9 mile ride.
Yeah, I mean, no, that's 1.9 miles to the pickup. Is that the letter A?
Oh, yeah.
So A is the pickup. and I get that the B is on the top there, but it doesn't look like too far of a ride. I would guess it's probably 7 or 8 miles, 9 miles.
Yeah.
But again, I haven't seen a ride on InDrive under $1.
Okay.
Now, again, that might not seem like a lot, but even on the long trip that you're looking at on the screen, where do you get $1 a mile on the other two companies? And I'm going to stop saying their name because,
Yeah.
they get enough pub. But, you know,
When it comes to long trips, you don't see that
right,
at all.
not even close.
You're lucky if you see 50 cents or so.
And by the way, that's straight up I-95, no tolls.
Yeah.
To a populated area, so you will be busy coming back.
All right, next one up. Again, this is what you see on your driver app, correct? When the trip ends, you just get whatever you saw.
So you don't get a weekly pay statement. You get paid right away. It goes into I guess sort of like an express pay. And then you can hit a button and transfer it right to your checking account for free.
Do they charge you? Do they charge you for it?
No, they don't.
Huh? Oh, no, 85 cents?
No, 85 cents. And usually it's the next day. It's not instant pay.
So what?
Yeah, but no, it's free.
Holy shit.
And then on the right side, and by the way, that is my app. So that is a ride that I took. And then on the right is all the transfers I've made. And again, they're unlimited. You could see they're not all at the end of the week. And it's pretty simple. And at the end of the month, you get a tax document every month on your app. Basically, all it says now is zeros because it shows all the fees they take out. So and it shows the amount of miles. But I think it's only miles on the ride. So you stay on top of logging your miles, like when your app is on and you're driving around. If you're driving around.
Wow, okay. Well, that's a plus that you don't have to pay 85 for instant pay. Okay.
Nope.
All right. Next one.
My car.
Yeah, whose car is that?
That's me. Believe it or not, that car has 150,000 miles on it, and it's 2 years old.
You got the car wrapped.
Yeah, so they wrapped it for my interview.
Okay.
They had a program in the beginning where they paid drivers $180 a month to drive around with that. Okay. It's still up in the air whether I'm going to get that. Again, I didn't do it for that.
No, you're going to get that.
Well, but again, I did the ride along, and I'm sure you'll see it online when the next time you talk to Adam. They said the interview might not come out for 3 or 4 weeks, but I overheard the whole interview, and I don't think I want to say anything other than it's very encouraging. Okay. I mean, I've met 2 people already in person from InDrive, 3. And I have emailed back and forth with Adam. Again, I do not work for them, but as passionate as you are about the SMTMC, I believe in this company until they give me a reason not to. And I am going to, every last breath I have, I am going to convert everyone. And look, I don't do it using a QR code in my phone because I wouldn't scan somebody's phone in 2023. All I do is say, look, go to the App Store and compare yourself. The next time you take a big tree or a small tree ride, right? Open up the InDrive app and price it out yourself. It'll sell itself. They don't need me. But again, I will tell you one thing. I've had this car wrapped now for about a week and a half. I feel like a rock star because I go to the casino the minute I get out of my car. What's InDrive? What's InDrive? What's that? What's that? Think about it. I mean, God, I hope I don't get deactivated from Lyft here. But, when I'm going to pick up a Lyft passenger, what are they seeing when they walk into my car?
Yeah.
And by the way, if Lyft wanted to do that to my car, if they actually spoke a human to human instead of a chatbot to human, maybe my car would be peppered with Lyft stuff on it. But like you always say, I go to the highest bidder. But principally, this company, to me, could be a game changer. Only because they have deep pockets, it appears. They're established. And, it makes me feel good. And to me, it's a worthwhile investment in my time. Now, you both know that I'm not your prototypical driver. So I understand people
So, give me 1 minute of recap of what this is and, I know you told us actually when you came on, you grabbed the link and came on last week. I think it was a couple of weeks ago, and you said you had 522 Lyft trips. You had everybody download the InDrive app.
Yeah.
So I'm all like, okay, well, we need to get you paid at some point, Adam. You're watching this, I'm pretty sure. So there's the man right there.
And by the way,
but
I have to tell you, I finally got a ride challenge. Now it's not yours. It's 120 rides for $230.
that's
But
pretty good.
Ooh,
I have priority mode on. I have my 5 mile radius, and I'm doing every short trip I can take between Monday and Thursday.
Hey, maybe the little
there you
birdie
go.
said something. I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm not getting anybody any ride challenges. I have no power, so stop emailing me. I'm pretty sure they're gonna go take whatever.
Where's my ride challenge? What the hell?
Yeah, I would get it for myself first. But anyway, so give me like a minute of recap because we're running over. But so you like the company, you don't say anything wrong. I don't see anything wrong with anything he said so far. Other than the way bill issue, I wish him much success. I think they're going to compete and take some market share from these people. Passenger saves, driver makes almost double. I don't see anything wrong with any of this.
So there are
Yeah.
two things I would say in closing
Okay.
that I haven't had a chance to update on the stuff I send you every week about this.
Yeah.
They're a lost and found. They don't have a fee, but they do connect you with the passenger, and you could either drop it off at a police station or you can return it to them or have them come and get it. The other thing was a cleaning fee, which is, again, some of the things you just have to experience when they happen. And last night, someone had a bag of food on my back seat, and there was a huge grease spot. You can't go through the app to request a fee. And I'd never request a fee. I just give a report. But they do have a protocol for that. Now, it's been 24 hours and I haven't heard back from them. But, they ask for pictures, your ID, the ride, stuff like that. So we'll see how that turns out. But I'm going to say InDrive is not a silver bullet. I want to just, because again, there are still going to be members of the CDU who just love conflict. They don't want solutions. They just want to keep living in a victimhood society. I don't choose to partake in that. And
Yeah.
but I really have a good feeling about this company. But like everything else, I will continue to judge. And I told Adam this and the other people I met, I will do whatever you need me to do to make sure that InDrive succeeds in Miami and wherever else they launch in this country.
No. Well, I'm going to give you 30 more seconds here. If Uber and Lyft were not as shady and unethical and unscrupulous and whatever you want to call it, they were, would you be so hot on InDrive?
Yes, because it's better for the industry. Passengers save money, drivers make more money. And by the way, the big tree and the little tree have brought this on themselves. I'm a retired executive, you know that, in the restaurant business, okay?
Yeah.
I have never seen a company or two companies that probably in their business model is to screw the people who make them successful. I have never seen that in any business model.
You're watching this, Uber?
They actually try to do that to you. It's just amazing. And you shouldn't have to look. This is driving. I always say this. I drive people to Walmart. Okay, it shouldn't be this difficult. Yeah. I don't have issues with the passengers.
I agree.
But the company you represent, whether you want to call yourself an IC or an employee or whatever it is, they're actively trying to get rid of you, and they don't hide it with all these investments in autonomous vehicles, and so it's unique. But I feel bad for drivers who do this as their main source of income and have to support their families. But if InDrive comes to you, sign up and give it a try. But don't get rid of your other two apps because you can use them to your benefit.
Well, Jeff, you're my man in Florida, obviously. InDrive ambassador, Adam. You know what I mean? And we thank you, man. I mean, it went a little longer than I thought it would go, obviously, but hey, we just cut the other ones because this is important for the driver community. This is a serious competitor, okay? This is definitely a tool in your toolbox if it does come to your city to give it a shot. And, passenger saves, driver makes more. That's what we want out of Uber and Lyft, and they're not doing it at the moment. So Okay, thank you, sir. I'll be in your tail or on your tail, whatever, to keep getting info out of you. And what better man than you, sir? So thank you, man.
I'm counting the days to Herbivore. I'm looking forward to giving you a hug. I really
Oh,
am.
absolutely. You got that. You got double hugs, buddy. There you
Both
go.
of you guys. You guys
Yeah,
are doing
Harry
God's
was here.
work
Is Harry
there.
here?
Harry better be getting the airplane tickets
Where's
then.
Harry? He was here, wasn't he here?
I don't know. He was here earlier. So Harry, if you're watching, you better get
Harry,
the.
this whole crew is coming, Harry. There's no bullshit this time. I'm
And
telling
make
you.
sure they get all the super chats, Harry. Okay.
That I don't know. So
Love you, Zoom. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
It's called buying the hen that feeds you.
Yeah. Well, you know.
All right. Thanks, Jeff.
all right,
Appreciate it.
Now I can watch
have
the
you
rest and get back into commenting.
Yep. And we'll have you on again to give some updates and you know,
6
once
weeks,
they
we have
launch
a date.
into their next city, you know,
got
maybe have you as the talker to or the driver ambassador who can help some other drivers in those particular markets.
And if I
So
get any
appreciate
heads
that.
up as to when this interview is coming out, I'll share a link with you guys so you can get it out to the
Oh,
drivers.
absolutely, yeah, definitely.
Have a good
All
one.
right.
Thank you again.
Be
All
safe.
right, thanks,
Thank
Jeff.
you.
We'll see you in
Bye-bye.
6 weeks. All right,
You
bye.
got it.
All right. So one of the things that that I want to mention when it comes to a lot of the comments asking, where is this? When's it available in your area? You know, this is kind of the unique thing here. They are in Miami, pretty much South Florida. But when it comes down to it, they were supposed to launch into a second city, which we don't know where that particular is. But what we do know is it was supposed to happen. But the reason why it has not happened yet is they're actually doing something I think is pretty smart. They're going through the app. And when they first originally came here, they brought the app from overseas and just brought it here as is, even though there's a little bit different when it comes to the US and other parts of the world. So what they have to do is they're kind of reworking the app and ironing out all of those bugs. And they're using the Miami market to test that and to change that. So there's a lot of changes and updates that are coming through on the InDrive app itself, both on the passenger and the driver side when it comes down to it. So that's why I think they haven't launched in their second or third cities yet. That's because they're trying to kind of iron out all of the bugs first and then launch into other apps, into other areas, and all of that. So once these do become available in different markets, we will let you know exactly where that is, so you can sign up or go on the wait list or even get hold of InDrive and say, look, we want you here, show up or something like that. But yeah, it is unique what they're doing, and I think that's a better way to do it. And before we went live, we had Jeff in the green room and we were kind of talking about that. And it's better to have one area and fix out those problems than launch in 10 or 12 cities and leave a sour taste in somebody's mouth or something because they're not used to a particular app. So I think that's a good sign because that's showing them that they want to, look at the US as a true place of operation. And they're using the Miami market to be able to test those changes and make those changes on the fly. So I think that's pretty good. You can't really wait to sign up for it yet, but the only thing you can do is hit up Adam and say, hey, come to my market.
Look, I mean, Adam already figured this out, that there's tremendous dissatisfaction in the regular rideshare community, and people are willing to give this a shot at least, if not convert, right? And I definitely think they're doing the right thing by slowing it down a little bit, fix the bugs on the app, and then go maybe 10 cities instead of go one city, more bugs, one other city, more bugs. It's like, I think they're doing it the right way, slow and steady. This is a serious company. This company is in 650 cities around the globe. This is no joke. This is not like some other fly-by-wire operation. So obviously, look, I wish him the best. I mean, we're in touch with the company. What else do you want me to say? I'm in touch with Uber and Lyft. So to me, Jeff, thank you.
Jeff, appreciate it. Thanks.
We're fighting. We're gonna do well. But yeah, this is definitely more tools in your toolbox, guys. And
well, here's the thing. Not to get political, but we're gonna get political. Let's look at where our country is right now. We have a two-party system.
Yeah.
I mean, you might even say it's a one-party system behind the curtains, but you can either be a Republican or a Democrat, and there's the Independent Party is like real small, so it doesn't really count. The Green Party, all that's part of the bigger picture. You know, there's two main apps right now when it comes to rideshare. That's Uber and that's Lyft. We need somebody who's a third party in order
Yep.
to kind of even
Shake
out
shit up.
everything
Shake
and
things up.
yeah,
That's
to
right.
shake up the tree and to shake
Yeah.
up the little tree and the big tree. And I think
Right.
InDrive has the capabilities to be able to do that because
Yep.
not only are they a different type of model, but
Completely.
it looks like it's a win-win for both the passenger and the driver. So I think that's going to be a testament to say. And not only that, I mean, let's look at all the upsetters too. Uber came into town, Lyft came into town, they upset the taxi cab industry.
Yep.
Netflix came into town, they upset Blockbuster. There's one
Yep.
Blockbuster left
Yep.
out of the thousands that were available.
Yep.
Taxi cabs, a lot of them have switched to Uber and Lyft. Some of them are partnering with Uber and Lyft. They did it in New York. They're doing it in Orange County and LA, and we're going to be talking about that a little bit more. But this could be a way to upset as well, because as Jeff was mentioning, the person in the back seat was like mother effer, and I could have saved how much money when it came to that, and then
$30,000 later.
$30,000 over the course of how many years? It's like,
I mean,
ooh,
that's a lot,
that's going to give
bro.
them. That's a lot, yeah. So, I mean, I think it's going to be something to keep your eye open for, and it's just another tool in the toolbox. And when it comes to rideshare, we need three systems. We need
Yep.
three different main competitors, and I think it's just going to even them out much better. Same
Yeah.
thing when it comes to you got Uber Eats, you got DoorDash, and you got Grubhub. Those are the main three when it comes to food delivery. You have last mile delivery. You have like hundreds essentially
Yep.
of all these little delivery ones. But when it comes down to it, yeah, I think it's going to be a real chance there. So we'll keep posted on InDrive, and once we know their second or third city that they're going to launch in, we will let you guys know exactly when that's going to happen.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, we're in touch again with the company, and we'll keep you guys posted. In fact, before it launches, I don't know where our relationship is going to go with InDrive, but I like what they stand for at the moment. And, I have nothing against it. And yeah, let's Adam. This is like 1 hour free commercial for you right here. So, but no, I think it's definitely a long time coming. It's a P2P system, peer-to-peer. There's no company in the middle deciding a price for the driver, deciding a price for the passenger, algorithms, gamification. This is just as simple as it could be. Pick up point A, drop off point B. We're done. See you later.
Yep.
And
there might be a little bit of haggle, but there's no games. There's no BS. There's none of this surge chasing. There's none of this streak bonus chasing. There's none of this active time boost plus whatever the hell you want to call that crap.
No, you know
there's
what
no
it is,
dollar quest goals. It's just
exactly. No,
drop
like
off.
we're gonna show. Look. We did like almost an hour of good stuff, right? We want to talk about these positive things. Now, next hour is going to be all shit because of what these companies are pulling. I don't want to do that. I want to make drivers more money. You know what I'm saying? Show me the money. This is a good idea to make more money. The next half hour, you guys are going to see what kind of bullshit these companies are pulling. And I'm like, there you go. So what better way, right, to have a choice? Because look, any of you in the chat and thousands later watching, you can get deactivated overnight. And hey, there is this company out there. I think it's a valuable lesson to learn. You have no control, which we talked about, but this company, you're keeping it as simple as possible. It's just there's no whistles and bells. The only thing is, okay, let's say it's busy, it's surging. Okay, don't use InDrive. As a driver, go to Uber, go to Lyft. But when it's not surging, on base fares, Chris, this company is paying you 30 to 50% more on the minimum, if not double, for the same trip. Period.
Yep.
That's it.
So it could be a much different scenario. I think it's good. I want to see more companies succeed. I don't want to see them, just one and done or a few and done. I want to see them, take over and be main competitors. whether they're going to be the Uber or Lyft of everything, or if they're just going to be, the third smaller one. It's still good to have three, because if you turn on all your apps, you have a better chance at making money than working two. And then you have to deal with the same bullshit that two companies tend to mirror each other on quite a lot. So I think it's only going to be better for drivers as InDrive or another competitor could come to the markets. So that's all I got to say about that.
The traveler, email me, Sergio at therideshareguy.com. I'll answer your question. Okay, let's move on, buddy. We're running late.
All right, let's talk about your gig with it, man.
Gig with it. Okay, so
while we're doing that, hold on. Before that, if you want to win a shirt, enter hashtag gig with it in the chat right now, and Sergio is going to talk about it, and then we will pick a winner.
Real quick, the link is in the show notes. Use Sergio at exit if you decide to buy anything outside getting the freebie. This is the shirt you guys are getting today. Exactly one. Navy blue with the gold lettering. Know your worth. Always know your worth in anything that you do. The other thing is paying back to the community. $1 from me and $1 from the company for each sale is going to victims of violent crimes during gig work. We go donate money, whatever we sell, obviously, donate money to GoFundMe pages of these heroes that are getting carjacked, shot, killed, whatever is happening to these people. And, go check out the link. I mean, it's in the show notes. Use Sergio, SERGIO, and checkout to get an extra 15% off on top of the 20 that's already off. And this is not the only shirt. They have like a whole bunch of different designs and models. There is one actually I'm going to wear next week. That's going to be my favorite. It says, stay calm and cherry pick. Jeff is not going to like that since he's the president of AFU. But so this is the shirt, and that's it. Let's move on. Let's see what Uber did this week, Chris.
All right. Well, first let's pick the winner.
Oh, we picked the winner already? Okay.
Yep.
All right, gig with it. Do it fast. If you win, you need to email me, Sergio at therideshareguy.com, your actual shirt size.
T. Congratulations, T.
T. Just T?
I like the Brook, yeah. T.
Okay, just T. T,
like
email me, Sergio at therideshareguy.com, your physical address and your shirt size, please.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
So yeah, what's going on with Uber?
Man, what happens with Uber, bro? What happens with Uber?
Well, I mean, every time something goes, no, because every time something bad happens to drivers, they just claim it's a glitch.
Yeah.
So what's going on?
Okay, whoever's in the chat in Vegas and whoever's watching this later in Vegas. Okay, Vegas had their problems, with the governor turning off the surge and forgetting to turn the surge back on. And companies were charging surge on the back end, but they had to refund all their passengers. We all talked about this last 2-3 weeks. Okay. And now what they did is, rightfully so, obviously, to kill the surge between certain hours, there is something called Uber. There's something called Boost Plus that they put on to kind of blanket, a geofenced area, a wide area to kill the surge. Okay, I get that. And all the ants kind of show up, right? Except that, as you guys can see on the left-hand side, this driver is from Vegas. He did a whole bunch of trips. These are Uber X trips. As you guys can see, on each one of them, there is a Boost Plus sign on his fare, right? But these are X trips. Now, you guys got to be careful. We put up a really interesting video last week that Uber is commingling now, or combining Uber X trips with Uber X shared trips under one preference tab. So you cannot opt out or unclick the Uber X shared trips, because most drivers don't like doing Uber X shared trips. Well, to his luck, all night that night in the Boost area, this guy was getting trips that were Uber X shared, just like you guys see on the right screenshot. Okay. And guess what, Chris? There was a glitch, Chris.
What was the glitch?
What do you think it would be, Chris?
That something didn't show up like it was supposed to. Some sort of money was not put into my account as I was driving. Yeah,
that Uber Boost, $4.50 Uber Boost they put up for hour between, I think it was 11 p.m. and 12 a.m. On Uber X shared trips, something happened. On Uber X, it didn't happen, as you guys can see. But I told this guy, I need a screenshot, take one for the team and do a trip. Maybe I said, look, I gave Uber benefit of the doubt. How stupid of me. I said, maybe they're going to add it when you finish the trip. This guy goes, Serge, I'm going to take one for you. Well, here it is. He did a trip, $7.21. This should have been plus the 4.5 boost. No boost. And here's the, receipt, no boost. So UberX was paying boost. At the same time, UberX Shared was not paying boost. So the guy goes, he was like, he sent me 10 screenshots, but he took a trip just to verify that boost was not being paid. So on the next screenshot, we will see, this is the explanation from the Uber app. It says right there, Chris, yes, UberX Shared time and distance rates will include surge or, what's it say? Boost pricing. Boost. Okay. Each UberX Share request accounts toward your Quest promotion. Okay. So what happened, Uber? What happened? So your system could tell UberX, but it could not tell UberX Shared. Within that hour, how many hundreds, maybe thousands of drivers accepted? Thank you, WeZoom. There you go. That's the info for Gig with it. So they said, we're going to pay the boost for X, but we're kind of forget about UberX Share, right? So now this guy sends it to me. And this is the way the community is working now, so you guys know. And I will have an update on this next week for you guys, okay? So he sends me all the screenshots, Chris. I package it nicely like I package shit for the journalists, right? This time, I didn't send it to journalists. Guess where I sent it to, Chris? Uber.
I'm going to say to Lyft.
No, to Uber. Uber. And Uber came back saying that, oh shit, we're sorry. And I'm going like, okay. And these are some of the pings that he got on UberX Shared with no boost showing, okay? And he was in the boost zone. I confirmed everything. And Uber came back and said, we know about the glitch. We're working on it. We're going to run a data search for all the drivers, whoever you are now, in the chat or later. Uber promised me saying that they are going to pay everybody for that hour, however many UberX Shared trips they took and did not get paid boost. Everybody's going to get paid. I'm going to hold you to it. You know who you are. So we are doing good things for the community. For all the CDU members, this driver woke up to the problem, sent it to me. I sent it to Uber. We're going to get everybody paid. And I'm waiting, so don't make me look like a fool, Uber, because this is how we're supposed to work together. And this is, of course, Chris, the cut and paste.
This is what you get back.
Glitchgate. Yeah, we got a glitch. Sorry, we know. We apologize. But whoever is going to watch this now and later, if you're in Vegas and if you work the boost hours, and you did UberX Shared trips, you are going to get paid. You're going to get made whole. So, and if not, please let me know. And then, we'll talk with Uber again, and we are going to get you guys paid. So on these kind of situations, I think our relationship with these companies is helping,
My question is, can I charge them interest for the time that it accrued?
No, that's not going
to
happen.
Well, I want that.
Yeah, I know you do. But I'm looking at the bigger picture. I'm looking at solving problems real quick. You know what I mean? Imagine, what if there were like, you would say, what do you think? 1,000 drivers probably or more in Vegas in that boost zone, right? Who probably did, I don't know.
Probably. I mean, I don't know I don't know how big the boost zone was. It could have been even more drivers.
It covered the whole strip, basically. Right?
Oh, if you're covering the whole strip, you're probably getting easily 1,000 drivers, if not more.
So if nobody got paid boost, right? This is going to be thousands of dollars. But what I'm saying is that this is what we're trying to do, people, with these companies, and nobody else, no other channel, nobody else is doing this. We have communication lines. There are certain things we can do. There are certain things we cannot do. I cannot get you reactivated, so don't send me emails for that because I get like 15 a week now. What I can do, though, if you can't get your Quest promos either. Yeah. If you run into these problems, send me the screenshots. I will send it to them, and they are made. Would you rather call support or chatbot do this back and forth with the chatbots? No, right? So to me, hey, it's working. It's going to work. We're going to work for the community, and my light died. But yeah, so please let me know, everybody, if you got your money from those Uber Boost hours that you did UberX Shared trips. There you go.
Well, one of the things that we want to do, if you are in Vegas or not in Vegas, it doesn't really matter, but we'll give you some money now. So enter hashtag glitch
I like
into
that
the
one.
chat right now for a chance to win $25.
You bet, baby.
We Zoom appreciate that.
We Zoom,
Oh,
thank
glitch for the
you.
Super Bowl. Probably.
Yeah, that one, I don't know. That okay, that I'm not responsible for. This has to, I cannot control the surge or the bonus trigger or whatever do you want to call it. That I cannot control. But if you have evidence like this gentleman did, sent me a whole bunch of screenshots. He goes, Surge, it's supposed to be boost. He sent me all the evidence, made my life easy. All I did was schlick, forward it to Uber. I go, what's up?
Yeah.
They go, oh,
Here's
oh yeah, we looked into it. He was right. We were going to pay everybody, hopefully by next week. I go, okay. Well,
one other thing. If you're gonna, email Sergio, make sure you have the screenshots, because if you
Please.
give a story, without screenshots, there's nothing that can be done. The only thing we can do is look at it and say, well, do you have a screenshot or not? So
Yeah.
make sure you collect screenshots of everything. And then that way, when you send it over with the story, we know exactly what's going on, can take a look at the screenshots, and then hopefully send it along and see what can come about from it.
Yep.
Screenshots are king when it comes down to it. So make
Yep.
sure you do send screenshots, please.
Yep.
All right. With that being said, Surge, no Surge.
Yeah.
Surge, no Surge. What's going on? Lyft had said, oh, we're going to get rid of Surge. We're going to get rid of it. And then we've talked about how getting rid of Surge is just a stupid idea, because you're going to screw your company during those busy times, like especially bar hours, events, concerts, busy times, rush hour, quite a bit of the day when there's surge going on. Everybody's going to flock to Uber. They're not going to flock to Lyft. So recently, David Risher came out and said, oh, we're not going to get rid of Surge. We're actually going to keep Surge. So for everybody, Surge isn't going away.
No.
William, thank you for the super chat.
You know what happened though? Because I had actually had a clarification from Lyft about this. They said that we never talked about getting rid of Surge during the conference call, which they did. Okay, you can listen to it.
Yep.
But I'll just go, okay, I slide with that one. But they now are saying that Surge was down 35% on the passengers and for the drivers because
too many drivers.
Okay, this is their word. Don't torture me for this. They said the marketplace is very healthy, right? So they said,
in other words, too many drivers.
Yeah, exactly. So that's their way of saying it's oversaturation. We have drivers at every corner. We killed the surge that way. And I snapped back and I said, marketplace is healthy for who, sir? Not for me. It's healthy for the passenger and you, not for me. So, and then the conversation ended right there. However, also what they figured is that if they do kill or surge or prime time on the back end, right, their take rate is going to collapse, because they certainly cannot pay the driver any less than what they're paying now. So then they thought about it. I go, okay, if we kill surge, we can't pay the driver less because we're already paying him nothing. So our take rate is going to collapse, meaning whatever we collect from the passenger, if we get rid of surge, is going to be nothing. So I go like, no, I didn't mean that. Surge is not going away. Why it matters, obviously, all the stuff. We know customer does not like surge. We know that, right? And going to the concert, they pay $30 going there, but coming out, they pay $130. I get it. But then since Lyft or Uber, nor Uber, share the wealth with the driver anyway. So on our end, as a driver, I don't think we need to be too concerned about it. But they had a sit down with David, and he said, no, surge is not going away. We would like it to go away, but I don't think it's going away. So he goes, I
think the biggest thing too is he said this last week, that they were more focused on passengers. And so they were looking at the passenger side and saying, oh, well, surge is one of the sticking points that passengers don't like. Well, you know what? Passengers might not like it, but that's the whole point of dynamic pricing. And when it comes down to it, you're going to either deal with it or you're going to figure something else out. And talking about a passenger. And for drivers, obviously we like it because we can make more. We liked it a lot better when it was multiplier or percentage increase when it was prime time. But it's a little extra is a little extra. And I mean, now it's time to focus on the driver. So
Yeah.
let's start focusing on the driver, and that's where surge pricing can help.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere, obviously. And look, when they say marketplace is very healthy, Chris, that's their way of saying we have a lot of drivers out there, and we don't have to even
Oh yeah.
because the surge algo is not even kicking in because supply is equal to demand or even more than the demand. So automatically, surge is just dying just for the fact that every corner of LA there are 8 Lyft and 8 Uber drivers. So
Yep.
that's it.
So when people are like, oh, they turned surge off. No, they didn't. There's just too
No.
many drivers.
Yeah, way too many.
So you gotta, I mean, maybe reevaluate where you're driving in your market.
Yeah,
Take
I took
opportunities
screenshots.
to.
I took screenshots, buddy, when I was driving from every corner, everywhere I went. I took screenshots. You know me, I just look at the passenger app constantly. I couldn't get away, bro. Every mile I went, there were 8 cars. Everywhere I went, I was like, holy shit. In the old days, I could get away. I can't get away. There's too many cars out there. So,
Yeah, there's quite a bit. So, yeah, just letting you know there. All right, let's give away some cash, some cabbage. Give me one second.
Glitch. Whoever the winner of glitches, email me, Sergio@therideshareguy.com. I will send you your money ASAP.
Tyrone, congratulations.
Tyrone, $25 coming your way. Tyrone, what is it? I can't see.
Gaskin.
Tyrone Gaskin. Okay. All right, Tyrone, email me, Sergio@therideshareguy.com. I shall send you your money.
All right, so one of the things that we've been talking about a lot is the commercial insurance, how costly it is, how insane it is at times. Like, how does that make any sense? And reading the fine print. We always say read the fine print on everything. Well, we read the fine print over and over again because it does like to change, and sometimes you don't even know it'll change.
Yeah. This is this is a trip of mine. So if you guys look at the middle screenshot there, the left one is the trip details, right? What time it was, how long the trip was, 55 minutes, 3760, 45 miles. I did it just for the fact that I needed to go there. I would have definitely not done this otherwise. So on the second screenshot, there are 4 screenshots attached, which Chris does wonderfully every week. Do you guys see where it says, okay, in the receipt in the old days, the 4 asterisk line used to be called commercial insurance. I had a back and forth with Uber for a while on this, maybe a couple of months now. I said, look, you guys are full of shit. First off, you guys are trying to make the take rate look low for the driver not to get pissed. Take rate meaning the service fee at the end, which is on the 3rd screenshot, okay? And I said, you guys are pumping up that commercial insurance line, which probably includes the booking fee that is dynamic and is charged to the customer. And you guys are just putting in there by saying commercial insurance and blaming commercial insurance underwriters or carriers for that. They said, no, Serge, everything is commercial insurance. Trust us, trust us. I'm like, okay, all right, whatever. And ultimately, I did 10 trips last week in LA. Chris, $1 a mile was commercial insurance on these trips. $1 a mile. I'm going like, that's just ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
So then they said, oh, look, we're changing that line item now. I'm going like, okay. So now, as you guys can see on this trip, and going forward, this is in LA. Please check on your receipts. You can do that on the website. You cannot do it on your app any longer, but you can do it on the website. Every single trip is a live link. You just click on it. You will see this. They changed it in LA anyway to booking fee now. How about that, Chris? They go, and if you read the definition, my eyeglasses are not good enough, but if you read the 4 asterisk definition on the right screenshot, Chris, what's it say? What does booking fee say? It entails a whole bunch of things in there, doesn't it?
Yeah, the booking fee is paid by the rider to help cover government-mandated commercial auto insurance Uber maintains on TNC rideshare drivers' behalf, as well as other regulatory, safety, and operational costs. Booking fees vary by trip. The fee recently increased as a result of expenses associated with California's commercial auto insurance requirements.
Right. So now what I'm requesting or requiring actually Uber to do, be more transparent and give me or give the drivers, everybody, the breakdown of that booking fee, because that booking fee includes what they charge to the, because if half of that booking fee, which is Uber can charge up to $10 max to each passenger, marketplace fee or booking fee in your market, it could be called something different. If half of that is that, then their take rate on this trip would be a lot higher, meaning their service fee would be a lot higher. So now I'm going back and forth with them saying, why don't you do a breakdown of that booking fee? Because that includes commercial insurance, that includes marketplace fee, that also includes credit card fees, that includes a whole bunch of shit. I go, why don't you be transparent and give me the whole breakdown? Because now, as a driver, I can have a clear idea of what your take rate is, as opposed to me believing in you saying that, oh, it's just commercial insurance. I believe these people that the commercial insurance is too high. I'm not buying any of this. So hopefully, shortly, we will have a breakdown of the booking fee line item, which changed from commercial insurance. So see, we are doing shit in the background, people. We are working, man. And you know what?
Oh,
I
yeah.
have to give my contacts at Uber credit here. They are listening. They're taking notes. Sometimes they do it slow. Sometimes they do it fast. But hey, man, we're in a good rhythm right now.
We're pushing. We're pushing. So
Yeah.
hopefully that'll be solved and kind of fixed. But yeah, that commercial insurance line item is annoying
man.
to look at every time.
Transparency is good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So now let me ask you another question. Trip radar.
We know what they say about that.
It's where trips go to die.
That's what we say.
But we also know that the companies like to mirror each other, right?
Yeah. To a point.
So,
but sometimes one does something a little bit better than the other one.
oh, for sure. I think the biggest thing that these companies should be doing, they should say, I think when let's say company A makes an announcement on something, company B has to go to the drawing board and say, okay, let's take a look at this, but how can we make this better? Sometimes they do that. Most of the time they don't. Most of the time it's just copy and paste it. But sometimes they do it a little better.
Yeah. Well, okay. See, I did 200 trips last 3 weeks for Lyft. Okay. Now, let me tell you something, Chris. This is not because Risher was on last week. Okay, call him Risher. We got to start calling him David because he's a cool guy. Anyway, so here's the deal. On the right is Uber Trip Radar, which goes, it's like you're driving and then like, what the and look at that trip on the Trip Radar. Don't tell me that trip did not go there to die, Chris.
I know, right? 37.94 for an hour and 8 minutes and 65-mile trip.
I'm not even sure what the purpose of that is right there.
That's called, and I like 6 people are looking at that and they're all thinking to themselves, hell effing no.
Yeah, they go, you die right here, sir. And so on the left is from my app when I was doing my ride challenge. This is how Lyft's Trip Radar works on a live basis, not intrusive like Uber's, saying like pinging you, that with that annoying noise in the background saying, I'm like, screw you. And then sometimes, you're fat fingered this thing, right? The X is small, you don't know, you just want to make sure you just exit out because you can't see anything else on the screen. On Lyft, it's not like that. On Lyft, these are all the available rides live around you. You like one? Click on it. Once you click on it, the detail page opens up and tells you exactly what the trip is, where it's going, where the pickup is. You already know how far away you are and how much it's going to pay you. So much more transparent, so much more relaxing. If you don't want to click on any of them, don't click on any of them. Nothing is forced on you. Nothing. Because you know what happens on Trip Radar, Chris? When they put it on Trip Radar, I am almost sure, guarantee every driver that within 10 seconds, you're going to get pinged with that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because first they show it to you on TripRadar, they go, it's just ping surge with that. I'm like, no. So, okay, Lyft has done two things that are so far above and superior to Uber's. One, TripRadar. This TripRadar is lovely. No forcing, no shoving. You just click on it. If you want it, you go get it. If you don't, you leave it alone. If you do want more information, you can click on it. It's not accepting it. It'll give you a screen saying, and then you click accept. You look at the details, profitable, not profitable, whatever. The other thing they have done is underneath it. Do you guys see that circle over there? The purple circle? That's called Lyft's area filter. Compare that to Uber's area filter. Garbage. First of all, Uber took it away, made it a perk for platinum or gold or whatever drivers anyway.
And it's not even available in all markets.
Exactly. And this one, beautiful. I set it on 5 miles on my house. I just want to do short trips if I have a ride challenge like I did. So Lyft, I'm telling you, I have hopes for that little tree. Slowly, they're doing things better. They're copying maybe, but they're doing things better. Because Uber TripRadar is garbage. There you go.
Oh yeah, and it's so unsafe because it all of a sudden it'll start dinging and going crazy if you're driving or if you're moving or something, not paying attention. And then all of a sudden it starts coming on. Not very safe at all.
Yeah. So,
but overall, I think it's a much better layout when it comes to TripRadar.
Yep,
so it's always welcome to see that. Now the question is, are those the trips that Lyft takes that goes to die as well too? That's what you have to click on to see, but more than likely,
yeah. But I mean, look, you know, I didn't take any of them obviously because it's 13 minutes away. I'm trying to stay in the area anyway. It's not the point. The point is, it's not as intrusive as Uber's, not as unsafe as Uber's. You can open it up, look at it, decide yes, no, okay, whatever. So these two things that Lyft has done lately, area filter and TripRadar, are much, much better. Much better.
Yep. Yeah. So hopefully we'll see some more improvements within the app when it comes to things like that.
We're working on
it. All right. Well, I got a question for you. You know, we actually talked about disruptors earlier, and we talked about how Uber and Lyft had disrupted the taxi cab industry. And now, if you can't beat them, you join them. So, I mean, we had something. We saw something like this. I think it was in New York City, where their New York City taxi cabs can access the Uber platform as well too. This was what, a year or two ago, I think this happened. And now it looks like LA and Orange County are also following suit.
Yep. Yeah. Look, man, this is going to make an oversaturated market more oversaturated. They made a deal with Yellow Cab. 1,200 Yellow Cabs are going to be put on the platform. They had a deal in San Francisco, pilot deal with Flywheel, put a whole bunch of cabs up there. And, you know, these companies are full of data. They said a cabbie, cabbies are mostly full-time. There is no part-time, like 2 hours here and there with cabbies, right? And yeah, I mean, this is going to add to supply. What is there to say? I mean, they're going to get pinged. Now, as a customer or a passenger, you know, you don't know you're getting a cab. You're not going to be able to order a cab. This is just part of the total supply. 1,200 cars is a lot, you know, OC and Orange County and LA County. And I don't like it. I mean, what else is there to say? As in, shoes have turned completely, right? On the other foot now. Initially, when Uber showed up, cabbies were just absolutely getting into fights with Uber and Lyft drivers. And now Lyft and Uber drivers are going to get into cabbies because now they're taking some, you know, trips away from them. But the other thing is, it's ironic that Uber and Lyft first showed up and they couldn't talk enough bad about the cab industry, that they're regulated, that they're dirty and they're unsafe and all that stuff. And look at it now. They're bedfellows. How about that?
Oh, yeah.
And
now my question is, as I've always said before, what about the pay discrepancies between the two? Because you have pay within the cabs itself versus when it comes to Uber. You have a completely different pay model and structure, especially with upper fares now.
One is regulated, right? Cabs are regulated.
Yep.
There's a meter. Remember, miles and minutes, people. Remember. And Uber says they're just going to send them trips at the regular X rates. So I'm going like, one hope is that those trips are going to be so shitty that no cab driver is going to touch it, because I'm like, there's a huge difference, by the way, in LA and Orange counties. In LA, cabs charge $2.75 a mile. Okay. And we know what we get paid under upfront fares per mile. So
lucky
the
to be
hope
50
is,
cents at times.
yeah, the hope is that these cabbies are smart, and when they get the ping, they go like, screw this, I'm not working for 60 cents. So they don't take it, you know. I mean, that's the only hope, but it's definitely going to add to the supply. Not a good thing. The other thing is they're doing this all over the world, by the way. This is not just the US. They have it in Europe, all over the place. So yeah, I don't know. Well, if it's really slow for cabs, they may, because see, Uber drivers and cab drivers are working against on each other on this one. Okay. Because when, again, it's really slow for cabs, they will take the trash just to create some cash flow, because they don't own the cab. They're leasing those cabs on the day, on the week. Okay. And to me, Uber said the cab drivers in San Francisco, after a year of the pilot with Flywheel, they made close to $1,700 more a month than if they weren't taking Uber trips. So yeah, they may be taking trash, but they're creating some cash flow. So I mean, look, it's bad for the existing driver community. There's no ifs and buts about it. So
Yep. And hell of a pay cut for them too.
Yeah, for them, yeah. But they got to keep the wheels turning. It's better than sitting and smoking in your car, right? I mean, the other thing, by the way, I'm seeing, I was at LAX the other day, and there's a huge all the cab headquarters, or whatever you want to call it, dispatch areas, are where I usually park and wait for a ping. I saw, Chris, a lot of private cars, and they were cabs. So a lot of veteran Uber and Lyft drivers are converting to being cabbies now, as opposed to how they were when they were cabbies. They went to Uber. Now they're going back. But I don't see the cars with the advertising, a yellow cab or United Cab or whatever it is. I see private cars. It says something like something cab. It's not like this, what we imagine cabs are, right? With all the body paint or whatever.
That's similar to what's going on around here. There's, instead of the yellow cab or Liberty Cab or whatnot, you have,
with your
it's like local
car.
rides. So it looks, it's like a Kia or something that they're driving around, or
they have the
minivan.
meter, they have the meter, they have all the credit card machine, whatever. It's just like a cab. You just need to get licensed. Any rideshare driver can do it. And so there is a lot of cross pollination, or cross, whatever you want to call it, cross business licensing, or whatever they do. I saw a lot of private cars getting in and out of cab lots. So we'll see what happens, because the rates are higher. I mean, shit, if it's busy, $2.75 versus 60 cents, which one would I do? No,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a no-brainer right there.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. And now, when it's not busy for $2.75, now they can take Uber X trips. Keep the wheels turning. For the cabs, you got to keep the wheels turning. And they're making more money. It's good for the cabs. I think it's going to be bad for the existing driver community. More oversaturation. So.
Yeah, less surge. Well, problem is when some drivers get deactivated, then it'll help loosen the supply. But what happens when you get a really weird deactivation story?
You send it to Surge.
You send it to Surge, and we'll take it from there. But I read this when you sent this to me yesterday. I read this, and I'm like, what the hell?
All right, read it again.
What is going on here?
I read it like 12 times already. Read it again.
Oh my God.
Okay, you want me to just talk about it instead of reading?
Either or, it doesn't matter. It's up to you.
All right, do we have time? We have time a little bit, right? Okay, yeah, go. Okay, I'll just talk about this for a couple of minutes, and then he'll read it, because in his own words. This is the driver's own words. I conceal his name, obviously. So this is a San Diego Lyft driver. He's doing a trip. He's done like 5,000 trips already. 5-star driver, as usual, 6 years. And he picks up this girl at night. The girl is very distraught. and gets in the car. Shit's going sideways right away. You know, she's becoming belligerent. She's crying. She's upset. All this good stuff. And then the guy goes, man, I wish this was my last trip, you know, whatever. So finishes the trip.
Little did he
And
know.
little he knew that the girl gets out of the car, and literally within like half hour, he gets a notification from Lyft saying that your account has been deactivated. And the guy, of course, hits his head to the walls, goes through the support, and support safety line comes back to him. And, you know, after a couple of days, they did their so-called investigation, David, if you're watching, and said, yep, you're permanently deactivated. I'm going like, okay, this is going some places. And then, long story short.
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
Before we move on, what was the problem that the passenger had mentioned to the driver that made them get?
That's a good point. Very good point, Chris. So the passenger, the girl who was upset, complained about the driver to Lyft, saying that she was physically removed and she had medical bills from the car because of that. Obviously, the guy goes, I said, first thing I asked him was, oh, do you have dash cam footage? He goes, no. I go, well, so much for that.
Yep.
And then
Well,
he goes, what can I do now? I'm going like, not much you can do. This happened, by the way, people. This happened December of last year, December 2022. Okay. And then he's deactivated, but he's doing DoorDash and Uber Eats and Uber, which is, we always say, keep your options open. Okay. And long story short, about 9 months later, September of this year, he's like browsing on Facebook, and he remembered the name of the girl. The girl had a very peculiar name that it was in his head, because he knew it was because of this passenger that he got deactivated. And obviously he didn't do anything like what the girl, you know, said, that she was removed physically from the car, all that stuff. And he notices her name on a Facebook group and contacts her, DMs her, or however you do it on Facebook, because I don't have Facebook. The girl, I mean this is a true story, people, so you guys know. I talked to the driver 2 times already, and what you guys will see next will blow you away. The girl says, I'm very sorry. I had a huge fight with my boyfriend. We had just broke up. I was distraught. Yes, I did tell Lyft that you did those things, but you didn't do any of it. I feel very bad. I'm glad you found me. I don't mind meeting you and calling Lyft in front of you, telling them that I fraudulently had you fired. The guy goes, sure, we can meet, but, anyway, they meet. The girl in front of the driver calls Lyft support line, because she's still a Lyft passenger, and tells that I was on this trip 9 months ago, and I said this, but none of it was true. And of course, Lyft does their investigation, don't believe the passenger 9 months later, and send the guy back saying, you know, that you're still deactivated. No good. So now the guy goes, the driver has this girl write an affidavit, or basically he takes her to a notary. He has her write a confession saying that I did not say anything. Here it is with the notarized paperwork. He had her sign a statement, and that's the guy's numbers on the right. We concealed all the names, obviously, saying that she lied basically about it. And there's a confession right there, notarized by a notary, public notary. Then the guy has no way of getting in touch with Lyft because his app is turned off. He goes onto Twitter, Ask Lyft, uploads these documents, and then nothing has come back from Lyft. So, David, if you're watching, this is a deactivation story of deactivation stories. This guy could write a book. So the guy's still deactivated. I don't think he should be. Now, I'm not sure if the girl figured out by now that this guy literally can sue her, probably, with all this written confession and notarized stuff in civil court. But the girl did it anyway. She's young. She doesn't know probably what she is doing. She didn't know what she was doing when she had this guy fired, and she didn't know what she was doing when she agreed to meet with this guy and signed this. So Hopefully Lyft is watching this and you guys can do justice and put this guy back on, because I mean, there's a written confession here that the girl lied. It was a fraudulent act on the passenger side. And what do you say about this, Chris? How did you think when I sent you this? I thought we had like some good stories, but I think this tops the cake right there.
When I was reading through this, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So I'm like, what the first thing I was thinking is like, where's the dash camera? And then he said, like, in the middle of the page before, it says like, I don't have a dash camera. I know what you're thinking, and I agree with you. Get a dash camera, bro. If you're still doing DoorDash and Uber, get a dash camera. You need it. And then hopefully, if you can get it back on the Lyft platform, you definitely need it. We recommend display ride dash camera. This is perfect for you. But yeah, I mean, when I saw that, and I'm like, oh, great. So that just goes to show you, when he was able to contact her and then they got together, that just kind of blew me away, thinking like that whole thing, where she actually like decided to own up to her problem, and come out about it. But I mean, like, still, you don't do that to somebody else. Like, you said, yeah, that could open her up for a lawsuit, especially with this. I don't know if, I mean, I don't get that from this particular story that he wrote, if that's going to be the case that he goes down. But I mean, this is something crazy. And then, this is where arbitration comes in, especially because now you're meeting in front of a mediator or an arbitrator, and they're going to have to look at it. Lyft is going to have to be there to present. And I mean, if you had this particular individual, the rider, coming to there, or even just the signed affidavit of that, that's notarized, saying, yeah, I made it up. They have no recourse to be able to say, oh, I'm sorry, it's still true. You're deactivated. Like, that doesn't make sense to me on how that could continue on. When it comes down to him not getting back onto the platform because of this, I think this is just an issue with support again, where support is not in the country, or they're not putting it to the correct place. So they're just taking it, and then that's that, and or they don't know what to do with it. And I think that's the biggest problem when it comes to support, and why there was no push in terms of getting him back on the platform after that sort of letter had been there.
Yeah, and the other thing is, last week actually, somebody mentioned the same thing. If this is not a case of guilty until you can prove yourself innocent, well, David, and whoever, I know people every week are watching at Lyft now. Whoever's watching this guy needs to be back on the platform. And which one is better? This guy turning around and creating lawsuits and taking this to the media, and then now we're talking about it. And what's the point of this, right? You guys have to do a better job, both companies, better job of vetting these passengers when they put in a line saying that he physically removed me out of the car. Do the investigation better. Well, how about this investigation, Chris? I wasn't going to talk about this, but let's talk about this real quick. There was a cat that was lost this weekend. And somehow my good old buddy Tony here in LA, Tony, got me involved on Twitter. He said, Serge knows all the big wigs at Lyft. Get in touch to the owner with Serge. He can help you. I'm going like, how am I getting involved in this at all now? So this guy, this poor owner, was taking his cat to the vet, and the cat's name is Tux. And he got to the vet. The cat was in a cat carrier, pretty big cat. The guy got out of the passenger side, was coming around to the driver's side back door. The driver took off with the cat in the car. And the whole world went nuts. I know there are some cat lovers in the chat, and also a whole bunch of cat lovers on Twitter, because when the guy posted this, it got 8.5 million views. Okay? This guy went viral. And cat, Risher responded to my tweet saying that, I said long shot. That's all I said. Why am I even getting involved in this? I'm not even sure. I like cats, don't get me wrong. But I'm going like, why on a Sunday I'm getting him? Well, anyway, Risher got involved. Risher said, we apologize for the support message. We should have done a lot better. I got, exactly, David, you should have done a lot better, because support sent the cat owner who took off. The driver took off with the cat. I'm going like, why would you do that? Well, don't you even look behind you? I mean, you have a huge ass box.
Yeah, right.
And long story short, David got involved. They hired private investigators, no joke. They scoured the area. A day later, they found the cat a mile from the original drop-off area. Got is that, oh yeah, we're very sorry. You have to pay $20 to the driver when he returns your item. I'm going like, that's support? What bullshit is that? So, however, my thing was like, I'm kind of thinking, and I'm like, I don't want to tweet this, but I'd say it here in my community, is this thing got 8.5 million views, and the cat was found, and Lyft decided to pay for all the cat's vet bills. Okay. And cat is healthy and happy back with the owner. However, this guy, the driver, who drove off with the cat, and I mean, you gotta be like dense to not see a cat box in your back seat. And if you did one trip after that, the next passenger that got in said, what the hell is this? There's a cat here, buddy. So you should have returned, called the passenger back and whatever. But this driver said, there is nothing in my car. He denied it. He probably put the cat on the sidewalk and cat was gone. And people were going berserk. So I was wondering, for 8.5 million views and people going mad about a cat, I wish we had 10% of that attention on every time a driver got killed and shot while doing rideshare, right? I'm saying, look, animals are part of family. I get it. I get all that. How is it that a human getting shot and killed by a jackass in the car doing rideshare by their passenger is not getting this much play when I tweet it, but a cat does? Well, I guess it is what it is, right? So, I'm like kind of torn, but I'm glad Tux is back with the owner. Lyft decided to pay. I'm sure everything is good. I'm glad Tux is back. And Tony, don't ever get me involved again. But yeah, Tux is back.
Yeah. So that would be a rightful termination and deactivation.
100%. I even said it on Twitter. This guy should be booted right there. Right then and
100%. And if he's still driving, he should be off the platform. No doubt about it.
He actually could get arrested for this. Literally, he could.
Yep.
Because he stole the guy's cat. How the F do you not see a cat box in your backseat, bro? All right.
Yeah, and I mean the size of it's pretty big, so you can't miss it. I mean, literally, when you're saying goodbye to the passenger, you're turning around, and you should be looking just to make sure that there's nothing in the back seat of your car.
There you go.
Because then it avoids you from having to go back and drop something off altogether.
When the passenger is coming in the car, I always turn around and say hello, whatever, right? To see what they look like, because I don't know what they look like on the app. You know what I mean? Because they come from behind you, they get in the car. I always want to make sure, right? Okay, that's one. The guy's coming in with the freaking thing, huge thing there, right? One. Two, here's another advice for newbies and veterans. What do you do, Chris, when you drop somebody off? Do you just take off like Mario Andretti? No. You pull over, turn the lights on if it's at night, check inside the car, because you really, really don't want anything left behind in your car, because it's a headache to return. After every trip, you stop the car, you look around, front seat, back seat, and then you go. Takes 30 seconds and create all these headaches are gone. But this jackass drove off with the cat. The guy through app support, by the way, had conversation with this guy. He got a hold of the driver through app support and said, I'll pay you whatever you want. Just bring my cat back. The guy goes, there was no cat in the back. I'm like, you dumber than dumb, bro. So that one bad apple now gives all of us a bad look for sure. In fact, we'll show it next week in the funnies, Chris. There was a lady, our thumbnail for Risher's interview, me, you, and Risher for YouTube, right? This woman said cat thieves to us on the bottom. Tweeted it.
Okay.
So we're cat thieves now. So you know.
Okay. Yeah. Isn't that could be defamation?
Well, I took care of it. Don't worry.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure you did.
Cat
You got to
thieves.
send me the link for that so I can see that.
Yeah, I'll
'cause-
send you the link. Yeah, cat thieves. We're cat thieves.
Sheldon, thank you for the membership.
Thank you. Sheldon. There you go.
Yeah, no, I mean, when it comes down to it, yeah, that particular driver that had done nothing wrong and the passenger that was an asshole, granted, she owned up to it, but had to be pushed in order to do that. Hopefully he's back on the platform. He should be back on the platform. And, something like that where a cat gets stolen, well, then at that point, I think that driver needs to be. So let's just do a little flip-flop. Deactivate the one, reactivate the other. I think that's pretty simple and easy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No brainer. Yeah.
But all
Hmm.
right. Well,
I see
let's
what's
move
coming.
on to the
I see what's coming.
what? Giving away some
I
money?
said, I see what's coming. I see the screenshot.
Let's give away some money. So enter hashtag
okay.
SMTMC into the chat, and you could get yourself $25 richer. Not richer, but richer.
Richer. All right.
So yeah, you did say something about some screenshots when we're talking about some crazy names and stuff. So not only are we going to be talking about some crazy names, but one of the names, the one that's in the center, is kind of what we were talking about last time or last week when you were bringing that up when it came to the fake names and all that stuff. So
yeah, I'm like, I mean, I know a little bit of Spanish. I know what La Muerta means,
Yep.
Why, David? This is still happening, David. Why? Why do we have to deal with this? Seriously. I mean, I get it. The passenger may think it's cute. Look, the guy has a passenger. He has a 5.0 rating, 1.9 years, and 600 plus trips. Okay, great customer for you. I'm sure the guy is wonderful, but I don't think this belongs in 2023. And the one on the right, it goes, bite me hard 1414. That's not a real name, is it, Chris?
No, definitely not. Now here's the real thing. Was this Jay's ride? Was this Jay
No.
Crater's ride?
The lady, potentially. You know what? No, Jay did not send me this. Somebody else sent me this. But Jay, if you're watching, this is probably your ride. You like this kind of thing. So.
Now imagine if she puts like her arm in front of the driver's mouth. Bite me hard.
Bite me hard. And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that. But La Muerte, which one do you like better, La Muerte or Bite Me Hard?
I would rather go with Bite Me Hard.
Bite Me Hard, okay. But La Muerte, because if bite you hard, at least I'm biting you. But in La Muerte's case, your head is about to be
exactly. That was my thought process behind that whole thing. Yeah. That person's obviously like some S&M. So
maybe he did it for Halloween. Maybe he thinks it's cute. Halloween's coming up. Maybe
I don't know, but
yeah, full of shit. Okay, David, this needs to end. Okay, and the one on the left, I'm sure everybody saw this online, but I thought I'd put it up. What was the lowest rated passenger you ever picked up, Chris?
The lowest that I picked up?
Yeah, lowest rated passenger.
The lowest that I picked up was probably, I think it was a 4.52.
What?
And that was no. My rule is 4.8 and lower are no goes, but I wanted to see why the person had a 4.5. So I allowed that one. And yeah, it was a really, really annoying girl who was like, I mean, obviously drinking and really annoying. So that explains why you had a really low rating when it comes down to it. But no, I have never. I've seen the lowest I've seen come through my app was a 4.23. That was the lowest. I didn't take it, obviously, but that's personally. I've seen screenshots of one. Obviously, nothing like a 1-star.
No, I cannot verify.
You're a 1-star driver.
I don't know how you can get the 1-star. To be honest with you, how do you get the 1-star? So because you start with a 5 until you do a few trips, you're not gonna have a rating as a passenger. How do you get the 1? Like everybody gives you 1s for the next 2 months, 3 months. Is that what happens?
I don't know. Unless this particular passenger was like, "Can you please rate me 1?"
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean that's the only way I could. I mean, Because I don't know. I mean, how else would you get that?
I don't know. I mean, mathematically, it's kind of difficult to get that one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless
I
he
mean,
did
because
like
you can't
maybe
give
10
0
trips and
stars.
everybody gave him a 1. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you can't give 0 stars. So to have 1.0, literally everyone would have to give you a 1 rating.
So on Lyft, you know, if you give 3 or below, they won't supposedly match you with the passenger again. So this guy or gal must be such a wonderful person that every single driver that he got in got a 1 from every single driver. That's how you do it, people. This is how you get to stardom. 1 star and show up and show me the money.
Yeah.
So lowest passenger for me was a 432 out of LAX. I pick up every passenger between 430 and 455 out of LAX because with my experience, I've found out that they're all wonderful people, but they're either from New York, Philly, Jersey, because those East Coast drivers are brutal. They're brutal.
Oh, yeah.
They pound their passengers, bro. And they're perfectly good people. They tip me every time. We have a wonderful trip going to Hollywood or wherever we're going. So I would actually gun those for those. Oh, 440 out of LAX. Yeah, 440 in the city, not a chance. 440 out of LAX, I got you. Don't worry. Yeah.
Well, that would be true. I would have to agree with that being a lot harder on the East Coast when it comes to rating.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen in the chat a couple of people are putting 3s, 3.25, 3.5, 3.9. You know, I mean, to me, that's unacceptable. Now, here's the question I want chat. What is will you take those particular rides that you put in, like the 3.9s or the 3.5s or whatnot? Or do you have a minimum threshold of what you would take? What is it? Put it in the chat. Let us know how much or where your cutoff point is or anything like that.
I wouldn't do it. No. 1, no. 1, I wouldn't even look at this one.
I would look at it and be like, how is that person? You know what? I might hit accept, call them up and be like, why do you have a 1-star rating?
And then cancel.
And then cancel. just to see why. Because this is the problem with this is we have no idea. We'll never know.
I know.
How did you get a 1-star rating?
Whoever you are, you know who you are because you can see the address. So whoever you are, please, you know, contact us. I'd like to interview you for Behind the Wheel.
Yeah. Oh, so quite a few people are putting 4.7, 4.8, 4.
No, mine is 4.6.
4.6.
Mine is 4.6. The same as where Uber will deactivate you if you stay below 4.6 for a while. So that's my threshold, 4.6. That's it.
Yeah, mine is usually 4.8.
4.8?
Clearly that can change.
Jesus.
Yeah, that'll change sometimes though. It just depends on how busy and things are. Dasher Life Hawaii, thank you, appreciate that.
Dasher Life Hawaii. Is that Ronald? I think it's Ronald. Is that the guy that like did 100K on DoorDash and was on Kim and Zach show? Is that the guy? I don't know.
I don't remember.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll confirm. Anyway, if that's you, thank you, sir. Yeah. So yeah, my threshold 4.6. Look at you guys. You guys are all like Beverly Hills drivers. 4.85. I mean, what's the big deal? 4.85. What the hell? Come on, man.
Well, you know, you want a better driver. And then here's the best. This person is a new driver and they got or a new passenger. It's their first ride and they're 5-star. It's like, it won't be 5-star for much longer.
Not much longer. You know, as a driver, you can always get to 5 stars if you're doing enough trips because it's your last 500. You know what I mean? Because supposedly they'll drop off. Supposedly, I don't know. I think that clock is broken. I've been at 496.
You know what?
I
think I don't know. I think it's your last 500 at that particular rating. So if you have 5 stars at 500, it'll roll off, but it won't roll off the 4-star, the 3-star, the 2-star, or those annoying 1-star ratings.
Yeah, I have 3 of those.
So you got to wait 500 You got to wait 500 1-stars until that first 1-star will fall off.
Oh, really? Okay. I thought it was like a clock. Anyway, okay. Ex-Army Sarge says, I take anything. Why, ex-Army Sarge? Explain yourself. Maybe I should do it behind the wheel with you. He goes, I take anything. I go, no, you don't take anything. 3 in the morning. Screen name killer. You're
Taking
gonna take
any
that guy?
take anyone
I
with a
don't think-
pulse, James.
I don't know. No effing way I'd take anybody like that. No.
Yep.
All right. So
Well,
remember, you said you drive fast, break things. When I had my
no,
last,
drive
this is
fast,
mine,
take
this is mine.
chances.
Yeah, take
Drive
chances.
fast,
Yeah.
take chances. Get
Okay.
paid.
I didn't do that. I
The
took your
faster you
advice.
drive, the more you get paid. Just so you know.
Okay. So I took your advice. I was like 42%. Look where I'm now, Chris. Huh? 94%.
Oh, look at that! You're in the top 6% of drivers in LA. 94%.
I'm an ant.
I like your
I
smooth
entered.
braking, man.
Look at this. Smooth braking, smooth everything, buddy. Huh? There you go.
All right. Except your turns, they're little low.
Really? What's it say?
Yeah, look at that.
Oh.
It says your
Yeah,
smooth
well,
turning
you
is in
know.
the top 15%. So you're
Oh,
not at
that's
top.
good.
You got to improve there, buddy.
Well, no, David, this is
those-
as good as it
you-
gets. I'm not going to get better than this because if I'm annoyed, I'm taking fast turns because I'm sick and tired of LA traffic. So this is as good as it gets.
I'd be like, I'm sick and tired of the damn passenger annoying the hell out of me in the back seat.
That's damn right. I'm a smooth operator. That's it right there. Good.
So,
done. Yeah.
All right. So the last thing that we're going to talk about right now, this pisses me off more than anything.
I have contacted his office, so you guys know. I want to have him on the show. This is the CEO, bro. I want to have him on the show. So
I would like I would have a few choice words to say to him too.
well, he may come on. You know.
Well,
I don't know.
he might get an earful. So
Good.
this says Cruise would join the call to ban human drivers in city centers. Look, bro. No. Not gonna fucking happen.
I'm gonna mute myself.
You know why? Look, here's the thing. This is the problem with jackasses like this. And if this is going to screw him coming on, well, you know what? You can still come on. I'll invite you on. You can say your piece, and then I'll ream you a new one. But here's the thing:
Killing the chances, bro. You killed our chances.
I don't. Yeah, you know what? I don't care. I would much rather have DK on, Mr. Dara, so we can have Uber on. Cruise and Waymo, I could piss on for all I care. I'll give you the golden opportunity of the golden shower when it comes down to it. So here's the thing. Look, Cruise and Waymo, your cars suck. Let's be real. In actuality, yes, you would need no human drivers in order for your cars to actually work and operate properly. But here's the thing. It doesn't happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen anytime soon. You can pretend all you want, but it ain't going to happen. And this is just annoying. So when I saw this one pissed me off more than anything when I saw that. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
You got triggered?
Oh, I did. I'm sorry. I like driving. Driving is my favorite thing to do.
Calm. Chris is
Look,
Chris is like my calmer version.
Look, here's the thing. I like to drive. I love driving. I've put I don't know how many miles on all of my cars put together.
Shit.
I was for 10 years or no, I don't know. It's just something like 10 years. I was delivering pizzas for, several years. I was driving, from here to freaking Houston to New York and, all in between on the East Coast, driving. I love driving. It's freeing. It's nice. It's exciting. I'll drive in the middle of fucking New York City. I don't care. I don't have a problem doing that. But yet you have some jackass coming on and say, oh yeah, let's ban human. No, it's because your cars suck. Your cars don't know how to handle traffic with humans who are driving. Let's be real. That's the true thing of it. You don't have a good product. I could put a freaking cone on your car and it will disable it. I mean, let's be real. That is the stupidest and most moronic thing I've ever heard.
This is from
you,
TechCrunch,
I get it.
I have contact. This is real. This is TechCrunch. He was at a conference.
Look, from him saying it, of course he's going to say that because that's going to make his Starfleet shine because there's no freaking drivers. So yeah, they can do anything. But here's the thing. When you mix it with actual cars, then, hey, this is what's going to happen. Your cars suck, man. Do better.
Because they have not been in a densely populated area and not caused mayhem so far. Every single time. Like they went to Austin last month. They absolutely dismantled the traffic system over there. They all stopped at the same place. So Mr. Vogt. His name is Vogt, V-O-G-T. With all the respect, sir, I back my partner up on this. However, if we didn't burn all the bridges from here to Buffalo. If you still want to come on and explain this,
look, I'll give him the respect during the show. I will definitely give my few choice words, but I will do it tactfully and tastefully. When I saw that, it was just very. I'm like, look, I like driving, and you're not going to restrict where I want to drive because your product sucks.
This is how it starts, right? This is how it starts with like a guy like this saying, "Oh, ban humans." I'm like, no, ban AVs because they're causing mayhem. In fact, there was a news today. I couldn't put it up. They rolled over a pedestrian. I mean, I don't know if they died or not, but they killed a pedestrian or rolled over one today. So those cruise things, sir, with all the respect, no, humans are doing just fine without you, and we'll be okay. Maybe we will learn how to coexist if your freaking machines know how to drive. You know what I mean? So, but we would love to have you on the show, Mr. Vogt. Yeah, we would love to have you on the show. So
I was going to say my cones aren't here; they're upstairs. I was going to be like, "Oh, here's a cone," but I don't have one.
On the show, we put cones on our head. We'll be cone heads on the show. So interview with a cone on my head.
Oh man, I gotta go watch Coneheads now after.
It's like funny. I got Chris triggered.
Oh my god! Like, look, I'm sorry, but you're not going to restrict my driving habits. If you're going to say you're going to ban it, I'm still gonna fucking drive wherever it is. I'll go. I will drive my ass all the way to San Francisco in my car. I don't care, and I'll drive around the city center, and I'll laugh my ass off when I'll put all the freaking cones up all over your asses. I don't care.
Well, hey, I'm all for it.
If I saw all, if I saw all the AVs just like crash into the Bay Area there, I would be ecstatic. I would be like, oh, this is freaking great.
Yeah, they haven't proven themselves. I mean, they're just doing nothing, causing nothing but problems. So I'm like, hey,
they haven't. I mean, how many times have we've shown the unicorn where it just blocks traffic? We've seen, cops are standing there trying to, maneuver traffic because of whatever was going on in front. So they're trying to direct traffic. And this thing is just minding its own business, doing its own thing, and doesn't even realize that something is going on. We've seen, the infamous driverless car that drove through the concrete and all of that stuff. We've seen all of the, we've seen the car stop in the middle of the freaking road while it gets T-boned from another car. We've seen, how many other times have we seen all these cars?
No, every week there is something. We don't put it up, but every week there is something. I mean,
not only that, I want to know how dirty the inside of these cars are. Because we all know
I haven't been in one yet.
We all know there's a lot of sex that's going on in these AVs. Let's be real. There's no bullshit behind that. There's a lot that's going on. If they have a poop map around San Francisco of where all the poops are, most of them are probably by what's her name's house, but different story, different channel. No, I don't like them. You know what? Here, look, I don't mind them. I think that they're in their infancy. They're little toddlers that don't know how to do, and it's just a typical CEO response that they don't want to take responsibility for their particular cars that are causing problems. They can't say, "Oh, it's our problem." Yes, I know. No, they're saying it's human drivers that are the problem, so we need to go and ban them.
Yeah, figure that out.
Same thing what happened. That's the same thing what happened with the roads back when cars first came out. It was to ban pedestrians and get jaywalking, which that's another topic of conversation. But still,
Matt, you just showed up in time. So if you put hashtag SM, did we do the second one? We didn't do the second one. If you
we
put
still got hashtag SMTMC. We're going to drop that in just a second.
Yeah, we're about to give the money away. Just a second. Fast fingers.
Fast fingers, because we're going to give it away in just a minute.
Julio Aguirre says we should make a weekly segment of driverless car stories. Yes, great idea. I think
we've pretty much
if it's going to trigger Chris like this, absolutely. Every week I'm on every week. Yeah, man. So Mr. Vogt, with all the respect, we would love to have you on. And to answer the other
Here's the
question,
thing. I will always give. I may disagree with you 100%. There's a lot of people that I completely disagree with. Chicago-less driver, appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. Lyft lost their two largest business accounts this week because drivers canceling rides. Whew. You think now that their Lyft is planning to drop everything out? No, I mean, if they're bringing extra comfort, I mean, they're going to get rid of Lux, but they're not getting rid of Lux Black. They're not going to get rid of
Brandon.
and they're
Brandon
bringing extra
drives
comfort. So
Uber. Brandon drives Uber Black and Lux Black, and he's been saying that there's Uber is paying a lot more than Lyft is when it comes to those super high platforms. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you
in
know
New York
that.
City, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how you know that.
Yeah, it's Revel. Matt Wilder asks, have you guys heard of
Revel?
Revel?
Yeah, that's Revel, but you work for $15 an hour. So that's like Alto and a bunch of other ones. Revel, yeah. Actually, Harry actually was in New York and took a ride in one of those and talked to the driver, and we'll have some information on the community page. You can go check it out. The guy was happy driving 10 hours a day for $15 an hour in New York City. I'm like, I'm not sure how that's going to work out. Those are called vertically integrated business models, meaning they own the cars. Drivers don't own anything. They're just basic drivers. They just get paid by the hour. I drove an executive from one of those. Oh, really? Okay. All right. Okay, Brandon. See, you're becoming a source of information for me now on the higher platforms in Chicago. Much appreciated. Okay. All right, let's give him the money. And let's get the heck out of here.
Let's do this. Boom. Who's our winner? Winner, chicken dinner. Techie B, congratulations.
Techie B. We have two T's.
Dude, he's already, man. Look at that.
Already, give me the money, Techie B. Okay,
he already won in his
Chris,
profile picture. Look at that.
B, 25. Email me, Sergio@therideshareguy.com, and all of you can email me for other things if you guys like, and have screenshots that we can bust Uber and Lyft with, deactivation stories like this one. I don't think you guys can top this one. Can you use someone else's car for Uber? Absolutely, yeah. As long as you're on their insurance. You have to be on the insurance.
You got to put all the information in.
Yeah, you can. Like my wife's car is on my platform as well as my car. So yeah. So what else we're gonna do? 25. Okay, so all the winners tonight, Chris, are with T's. T for the T-shirt, Tyrone for the first 25, and Techie for the second 25. Now they're going to say there's a fix in this. All the T's are being picked.
Well,
the CDU, fix, the CDU will complain now. The CDU.
Well, some complainers are always going to complain.
CDU, baby. Sergio, is it true? What is true? I don't know. What is true? That's something. You guys are asking me stuff that I cannot. What is it? What do you mean is true? What is true? I don't know.
Is it true? Is it true? I don't know.
Is it true that I'm gonna get Derek or Shoshai on the Show Me the Money? Yes. Like
we're gonna make it happen.
Is it true that I'm gonna try everything in my power to get this driver reactivated? Yes. What else? I don't know what else to say. Okay. All right. Are we done?
Yeah. We're done. So
InDrive. Don't forget InDrive, everybody.
Yep, InDrive. Quite a bit of other things.
Upside.
Don't forget what?
Upside.
Yep. Download Upside. Link is going to be in the description. We also recommend Display Ride. If you don't have a dash camera, please get one because that driver could have used that footage, and hopefully have not been deactivated or at least gone 9-10 months. Hopefully he will be reactivated, but it's definitely something that you definitely need. Thank you everybody for the super chats. New members or recurring members, appreciate that. Also, don't forget, tomorrow is Money Hungry with Kim and Zach. No. And Thursday is Evie Money with myself and Gabe. And then don't forget, I'm going to shamelessly plug my other channel where I am doing pizzerias, going around the area and checking out different pizzerias, seeing who's got the best slice in town, and going to a couple of cool places in between while we're waiting for slices to come. So head over there, check that out. And yeah, make sure you get out there, get some money. Sergio.
One last thing. Gabe, hello. You said my EV money, right? So I have met everybody on the rideshare guy crew, with the exception of you, sir, because Gabe was in LA for an occasion, and we went to dinner. I've met Kim. I've met Zach. Obviously Harry. Obviously Johan. Jay. Okay, Jay. I have not met in person, and you. So
Well,
we
have you met
gotta-
Elijah?
Hmm.
You haven't met Elijah. You haven't met Joe.
No, I'm talking like the contributors and shit like that. So
Well,
or the guys that are doing
Elijah
the
does
show.
videos, and then so does.
No, the shows. The guys that are doing the shows.
Oh yeah,
like,
live shows. Gotcha.
like EV Money, Kim, Zach. Met all of those people. So
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. Maybe we should go to Vegas. We should do a trip to Vegas and do a
okay.
live show there.
Okay, here's the deal. If you can go to Vegas, I'll give you my son's soccer schedule. We're going to Vegas for a tournament and make it happen. I think it's February next year.
February. I'll look up. Let me know. I'll look up plane tickets. I'll go.
Okay. And also
Vegas.
Curbivore, March 29th this year. So
Well, you know what? That's on Harry. Harry, my plane ticket from Buffalo to LA.
We have 6 months to make it happen. So we got to start pounding Harry now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. I'll go there. I have no problem doing that. That'd be fun.
Yeah. This year we got to make it happen. So
yeah, and then we could do a live show from Curbivore, or at least do a segment. We could be presenters on the Curbivore stage, and then we could do a live show. Like I mean, what day is March 29th? It's gonna be a Saturday?
I have no idea.
Let's see, Probably. No, it's a Friday.
Yeah, Curbivore is always on Friday.
So who knows? I could stay a long weekend and fly back on the 3rd, April 3rd, which is the day after the show.
They didn't pick me, sir. And the other question is, it's not true. You can actually be deactivated on one platform, continue driving on another platform. If that was your question, what happened with Uber?
Unless you're in Chicago.
Yeah, they didn't pick me, or maybe super high platforms. I'm not sure. But on X, I think you can get away with it. They didn't pick me because they figured who I was. But it's okay. Yeah. All right. That's it.
All right. Anything more?
Nope.
All right. Well, you have a great rest of your night, everybody. Go out there and make some good money. Be safe. Be smart. Make good decisions. Drive fast. Take chances.